Well, I'm delighted to be here. I am Diana Ayton-Shenker, and I'm privileged to serve as the CEO of Leonardo, the International Society of Arts, Science, Technology. And I'm here today in New York City at BrainMind, looking at your mind on arts with the extraordinary talent and inspiration, my colleague and esteemed thought leader, entrepreneur, and artist, Renée Fleming. So I'm going to take a few minutes to share some thoughts with Renée at this incredible moment of convening around BrainMind and the arts, neuroarts, just when our world needs it most. And I'm going to lead with the incredible gift that Renée brings to our world, not only through her gorgeous voice, which is so extraordinary and inspiring and influential, but how she uses that voice off stage as well, in the arena of arts and healing. I want to invite Renée to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her new beautiful book, Music and Mind, Harnessing the Arts for Health and Wellness. It's so wonderful to be with you, Renée.
It's wonderful to be with you too. Thank you so much. We're having an amazing day today. I mean, BrainMind is extraordinary. What a wonderful initiative. I remember when I first met Dr. Francis Collins at a dinner party. He writes about it in the foreword of this book. And I said, why are researchers studying music in the brain? And he said, it's because we have a new brain initiative and we want to understand more about the brain, and music is in more mapped areas of the brain than any other activity. So it kind of, after learning a lot about it, because I asked if we could bring this news to the general public at the Kennedy Center, and we started Sound Health, this fabulous initiative also with the NEA. And what's been fascinating about it is to really learn just how much work there is out there and how much of a basis there is for incorporating the arts in healthcare and in general for health and wellness. But one of the things that I love the most is that I found my way in through evolution, through understanding that this is part of our DNA, it's been with us forever.
Tell me more about that evolution, both the evolution of the research that gives basis to what we know innately is there. Music is this supercharging energy for us to activate our brain health, wellness, and vitality, but also your own evolution as an artist and an advocate.
Well, I started to be interested in this because I had issues with performance, both stage fright, but also pain. And that was a kind of like a sign of my discomfort with performance pressure, but also success. It kind of occurred. It was the worst at a time when I was under pressure, and if I succeeded, then the yardstick would be even higher. So I had to unpack that, and it took years to do it. But ultimately, what I discovered was that the brain-mind, of course, connection is so powerful, and that's how I found out that there were so many researchers looking at this, and neuroscience was becoming so rich with all constant research about the power of the arts. Because I'm a theater fanatic. I love visual arts, and this year I made a pact with myself to be a neuroart citizen, because I am making sure that I have these experiences every day. I'm in nature every day, and I'm reading novels all the time, and I can't tell you how much happier I am.
I read recently that reading a novel or long fiction is an empathy gym. It's like a way to exercise your empathetic muscles, because you're forced, as art invites us to do, to look at the world from another perspective.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And another thing it's great for is brain health, because you have to remember the characters. You can keep the narrative going in your own mind as you pick up the book and put it down. So there are a lot of benefits to it. But it is. I've just had so much joy this year, just deciding to take care of myself.
Oh, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. It's so important, and such an important message for people today who are so desperately needing that. I think
Right.
for women in particular,
Right.
and for artists in particular. And we do bring that, that on-ramp of deepened empathy and focus that benefits brain-mind health, but reinforces that connection with brain-mind-body and healthy communities. So it's such an important example. Centering it around joy and naming that as a value is something I love and we're not hearing enough of.
Well, and when I'm learning today, or what's being reinforced today, that active creativity and active art making, especially if it's improvisatory, it just inspires joy immediately. And we felt it today when we had a few activations. So it's a reminder that this is so much, again, who we are. And we aren't doing it. We're really kind of ignoring it. We're being passive about how we digest any kind of artistic experience. We're thinking about other things. We're really focused on, not necessarily on community, which is extremely important for health and well-being, is making sure, loneliness and isolation and mental health are at a crisis level right now in the world. I'm with the World Health Organization as an ambassador, and finding out that Dr. Tedros feels that it's his biggest concern, that depression is up 30%.
And it intersects not only with a myriad of health problems in our body and in our brain mind, but in our society, right? Which is otherwise breaking down. In looking at a pathway to enhance and amplify the arts as a healing force, not only do we have this wonderful new book, Music and Mind, but your work with neuroarts. I wanted to hear more about the blueprint and perhaps your work with sound health. These initiatives are inherently collaborative, and you are a wonderful example in pulling together partners, likely and unlikely suspects to be working together. Tell us a little bit about how you make these initiatives happen.
Well, I'm an advocate. I consider myself somebody who's become extremely passionate about the field and the intersection of the field. And so that's why the book is really kind of putting together chapters from artists and institutions and talking about the future, the state of childhood development and education, and therapies, all of the various creative arts therapies. So it's meant for people to kind of pick up and read a section that they're interested in. Roseanne Cash's chapter is harrowing. She went through an undiagnosed a brain disorder that had to be eventually, she had to have surgery. So I'm always thinking about pushing the field forward. So now I'm funding investigator awards for young scientists who pair with artists. And the NIH is going to follow that up with wonderful fellowships. So we have to absolutely strengthen the quality of the research and the rigor of the research at the same time as we change policy. And we get this message out into the world. We need this. We are at crisis level in so many different ways, but especially socially. So that's something that really concerns me, and I'm worried about our kids and our teens. And these are definitely initiatives, and getting them involved in group activities around artists, incredibly helpful.
And powerful. The twin helix threats that are overwhelming us with anxiety or hopelessness and fear around AI's rise and revolution and planetary devastation with climate change and mass extinction leaves us feeling paralyzed. And the arts are one of those great ways to...
And messaging also. I'm touring a project with National Geographic about climate. And I'm taking it to so many different cities where I sing to beautiful films they've created. It's called Voice of Nature, the Anthropocene, because we won a Grammy last year for this record. But neuroarts, to me, is the best umbrella because it encompasses all aesthetic experiences from nature, certainly music is probably the biggest of the buckets, but visual art, everything we can do, and making art. So I'm loving being involved with Susan Meg Salmon and Ruth Katz. And Ivy Ross and Susan's book is so fabulous also. But getting this whole message out, because I think the advocacy is so important, has been important. So, and also in NeuroArts we'll have a resource center in September, which is global. It's international, and it's going to be important. The Sound Health Network, based at UCSF, is also phenomenal because the NEA has funded this, and it's providing a go-to place for anything you might want to learn about music and neuroscience, music and health.
Wonderful. But we're hearing in the other room some music and
Example.
health examples coming out. Other examples of the voice of health and healing through the arts.
See, I'm moving. I'm already moving.
You're
I can
already
hear it.
moving. Yeah, we can feel it. We embody it. Thank you
Definitely.
so much, Renée Fleming, for
Thank you.
raising your voice of nature, voice of hope, and voice of healing. We really appreciate it. We appreciate this time.
Thank you.
And can't wait to read the book and keep working
What
together.
a wonderful job. Thank you so much.